Man, I'm a mess today. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Craft and Chill, where we're going to be chilling, crafting, doing some stuff. Out at Earl Grey tea today. This is some other kind of tea, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's alright. Let's see. So we're going to do a little bit more painting on this thing today. Some of the detail work and probably some of the touch-up on some of the spots that I may have messed up a little bit on. So let me get the paint going with that. And I might do... I need a base. Or I want to make a base, I should say. I don't really need any of this stuff, but I want to make a base. So I might be carving that, painting that here in a little bit too. We'll see how it goes. So first today in the chat was Famine. What's up, Famine? Thanks for coming by again. Famine Studios. Then we got Fat Red Foo. What's going on? Action Joe Figs. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Eduardo hanging out. Where's them Dr. Peppers? I'll throw a Dr. Pepper here. Man, maybe one day I'll actually make a new channel emoji. I don't know. I know that's crazy. It's been a minute. Ed is not going to be here again. He's still off in the woods for his Sasquatch family reunion, but he should be back next week. Okay, let me get some supplies here. By supplies, I mean a random piece of paper. I think I might move this a little. Yeah, it's a little better. It's been a year, dang long trip. Yeah, well, you know, he's got to walk far off into the Sasquatchian wilderness in order to meet up with them. And, you know, who the heck knows what they get up to out there? Newspaper, right? I don't buy newspapers. These are just the flyers that get sent to me that pretty much no one looks at anymore, so I figure I might as well use them for something. But I've been using flyers for packing stuff with eBay and this kind of stuff for a long, long time. One of my... several of them, but one specifically, a TikTok video that went completely viral maybe about, I don't know, 4 years ago or something, was because I had an old advertisement in the background. And yeah, it was when food prices were really going up. And so that advertisement was, I don't know, maybe it was like 7 or 8 years old, because I just had it laying around in the kitchen in a pile in a cabinet, and people were like, man, those are amazing prices on pork chops. Where can I get avocados for, 40 cents or something like that? But I had hundreds of comments. I think that was the one that had hundreds of comments. But it was a lot of comments all talking about that. It was kind of funny. I probably didn't need that red. Probably need gray first. Yeah, we need gray first. Yeah, most of the mailbox lately. Junk mail works good, man. Might as well be used for something. It's not like anyone looks at it. We've really gotten into a weird place with our junk mail, where you got the like email too. Email used to be something that you would read, and now it's just, you kind of have to read it because half of my, I'd say important correspondence comes through email, but it's Man, there's a lot of crap in there. Why don't I have the one brush I want? It's probably this one. It's just gotten frayed and nasty. Miguel Lopez. I love this hour. Thanks, man. This is a nice hour. Nice and chill. Home for a good chunk of the week. Ah, COVID, man. COVID sucks. Yeah, I had it. I've only had it once, but I really would rather not do it again. I know everyone kind of has like a different experience, but it wasn't super pleasant for me. Not like, you know, super bad. I didn't land in the hospital, but I would have if I didn't get those. What was it, Paxlovid, that antiviral drug? Because I was definitely not doing well until they gave me that. There we go. This is a reasonable brush. What's up, Jabalong? Yeah. It's kind of like a command chair sort of thing. 1/12 scale. Man, do I want to paint that? Once I start, I have to finish it. It's gonna suck. A master chair. Action Joe Fig's been 3D printing a lot of 1/32 scale stuff for a collector. The stuff is tiny. 1/32 is tiny. I've never actually done anything with 1/32 scale. How close is that to a, like, Warhammer minis? Is that Warhammer minis, or is that... I can't remember. About that size, Army Green Soldiers. Okay, yeah, sure. I used to play with those guys when I was little. missing anything. Oh, there we go. Missing that. Yeah, that's cool. I've never actually made anything for Green Army Men, but I kind of like the idea of that. I like doing simple things sometimes. It's nice making things that look actually like toys and not things that look like always. Don't get me wrong, I like doing more detailed stuff, but you know, it's like everything everyone makes now is trying to be this super realistic museum collector piece half the time, you know, and it's like it's fine to make something that looks like a toy. For dioramas? No, that's cool, man. I'm just thinking like making stuff in the style of the Green Men would be kind of cool. Resin, yeah, I would think you would have to go with resin with most of that tiny stuff for it to look right. I mean, I suppose if you had a really fine nozzle on your printer, you could do something, but resin would look better. You ever have a hard time with those small pieces breaking coming off the build plate, or not really much of an issue? Yes, yeah. Still sick in it. Well, you gotta recover, man. It is what it is. Did you lose your sense of smell or taste or anything? That was super depressing when I had COVID, not being able to taste or smell anything. I had some sense of taste, but it was like severely twisted. Most things were completely nasty. Oh yeah, man, that is depressing, dude. Severely depressing. Like I didn't realize how greatly psychologically that would affect me not being able to taste or smell anything. But I started looking up, you know, because I was wondering was I going to get it back because it took. I mean, I'd say it took a couple of months for it to sort itself out completely. Maybe even more than that. Maybe 3 months full recovery for the smell and the taste. And I still don't smell quite as my nose isn't as sensitive as it was before, but it's normal. I mean, I got to the point I couldn't even smell smoke in the room at all. I couldn't smell anything, and the flavor of things was disgusting. So I was finding watching videos on these ladies, this mother and daughter, that both like they lost tons of weight because you just don't want to chew food that has everything is flavorless, nasty mush. And I'm pretty sure there are people that even like, you know, unfortunately took their own life because they got so depressed from that. I had COVID today and tasted good. Yeah, F COVID. Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. I got so freaking excited. I was in the shower, maybe about 2 months or a month and a half after, and probably about a month and a half after, and I finally smelled something. I was able to smell body wash. I guess the heat was opening up my nose, and I was like, "Oh my god, I could smell something." I mean, I almost cried. I was so freaking happy. It was that much of an effect. Yeah, better part of 5 years to only have brain fog every so often. So I didn't get that from COVID, but I kind of got that, or I really did get that with heat exhaustion. I think I pretty much had or almost had a heat stroke. I did not go to the hospital, but it messed me up for years, and I'm still not the same. I still can't just go hang out in the sun and in the heat like I used to be able to. But some things, they happen to you, and the doctors really don't understand what goes on too well. And it just lingers with you for a long time, or forever sometimes. But, yep. Heat illness sucks. Man, that sucks too. I started having blood sugar issues after that and all kinds of stuff. I think all that's interconnected. You burn out that part of your brain that's controls part of your homeostasis. So you have, your hormone control and all that you freak it out when you do something like that to it. And sometimes it doesn't react the way it's supposed to. Obviously, I'm sure it's way more complicated than that, but it certainly seems to be something along those lines. From a layman's personal experience. I had COVID actually exactly 1 year ago. Yeah, it was August last year. Certain body functions, and you're never quite the same. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, lots of times the body will heal and compensate, but sometimes it's not quick. It takes years for some of that stuff, especially when you're talking about anything like nervous stuff, It's like you get mentally shell shocked from stuff, but your body does too. It gets, reacts differently for a while because it was freaking out. But I thought I would never even be able to tolerate just standing in the sun for more than a couple of minutes. And that's slowly gotten better. I used to just go in the sun and immediately get a headache and start getting shakes and weak and everything. And it was like that for years and years and years. And that's gradually gotten better. TD3, Troy, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming by. And Triple D Outpost, what's up, man? Did I touch? I sure did. I knew that was going to happen. It's like Cheers in here, right? Norm! Well, this is kind of like the late night bar, right? So it's just like the stumble in. Kind of fits. There. Oh, I'm stumbling, right? One too many gummies there, Fat Red? Eduardo was talking to the host in after show about WMC about your cabinets with the drawers. Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Unknown RC with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Unknown RC. What's up, y'all? Long-time lurker. First post. Your work is awesome. Being a disabled vet, thanks to you, I have started 3D printing. Thank you, man. Thank you. And thank you for being a long-time lurker. There are lurkers. It's funny how some people will just hang out and not say anything, but some of them are loyal watchers, honestly. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And yeah, good luck with the 3D printing. Try not to get too aggravated at your 3D printer. They piss us all off. Cobweb, what's going on, Cobb? You did that for a while, Lurk? Yeah, man. I mean, there are some things I watch sometimes and I don't really comment either. Every Friday? Sweet. Thanks, man. Yeah, feel free. Drop a comment, talk. It's cool, man. Or not, you know. So, Fat Red, are you talking about these or are you talking about the bookshelf? Well, obviously, this is the probably more with the 1/18th scale cabinet. I printed up an unpainted version of this yesterday because I'm going to do an Etsy listing with this one. And I didn't want to do it with the paint. Although I do like the paint, but I don't think I'm going to do it with the paint. This will probably go up as well. And I'm thinking I'll probably do the 1/18. I'll probably do the 1/18th one. I just don't know if I want to deal with just shipping one of these at a time. That seems like annoying, so I might sell them in a 2-pack. Yeah, all 3. Chooch! What's a lurker, dude? What's going on, Chooch? Rando Wit, thank you very much, I know an RC, for joining up as a channel member. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I don't have StreamYard set up, as you know, if you're a long-time lurker, so I can't do, like, the big shout-out, put your name up on the thing, but appreciate that a lot. Yes to all 3. Sweet. Sorry I missed you at DFW. Yeah, I mean, I talked to a lot of people, Action Joe, but there was a lot of people there. I'll probably be there next year, if you're around. Where is Gonzo? Oh, there's Gonzo. What's going on, Gonzo? This one, too. Did I show this last week? I can't remember, Fat Red. I don't know if I had this one last week or not. I don't think so. This is the single version. I know I had this. Yeah, I think I had this, and we were working on the file for this giant one with the lower piece that I'm totally not happy with, so I'm gonna have to redo parts of it. I mean, it's not bad, but this has to go down. It just needs some tweaking. But I decided to take some of that, simplify it, and some of the elements from both of those and put it into this chair, which is 1/18th. And I'll probably be putting this up too. I just keep wanting to do another version. I have like a whole line of chairs here. I haven't put one up for sale yet. But this one's pretty close to feeling good. May not make it next year since they moved the date and it starts on the last day of school. But we'll see. Maybe flying from San Antonio instead of driving. Right on. Where's Briscoe at? What's up, Briscoe? I think we said it was a medical bay. You obviously didn't assemble it correctly. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this. Hey, man, it could be. Huh? Well, that's pretty. I didn't even mean for it to do that, but that's pretty cool. There's definitely some options here. Just a little super glue would probably. I don't know, that's kind of crazy. Hey, look at this. I got the gap here. I didn't mean for there to be a gap. These things are way too long. I need to shorten that. I mean, it's not major, but I really don't like this. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little separation line there because the way it printed when it stopped going all the way across and started doing, you know, the individual sides, it made a separation line. It's not major. I actually just ordered a bunch of different colors in matte because I really like these matte colors. I think I'm going to be leaning more on the matte stuff than the regular PLA because you I mean, actually, that looks pretty good, but the matte hides the layer lines much better. It just looks more realistic to me. And although it's not in color, I finally got this thing sorted out. Opens nice and wide like I wanted it to. It's pretty smooth. Just needed to take another 0.5 millimeter off the edge of that door there, and it definitely worked pretty good. Cobb saying, hello back, guys. Listening while eating my weekend birthday dinner with the kids. Happy birthday, Cobb. Making Transformers now. Making Transformers? Is that like those blockies everyone's doing? Space recliner, right? I'm starting to like the Paramount PLA. Paramount? I've never used that. I'm using mostly Bamboo Labs lately, honestly. Just because it's really not a bad price if you buy a lot. But you got to buy 6 spools at once. And it gets down to, I don't know, like 13 or 14 a spool. They have, on the Bamboo, they have a little tag in there, like an RFID, and it tells the printer what it is. So it automatically dials in the specifications for the brand, and I just kind of like that. It seems to work pretty well. Although I use Sunlu, I use other stuff as well. For black and stuff. Although the red I found, the Bamboo Lab red, has a really good saturation, where when I was trying to use, I don't know if it was Anycubic or Elegoo, I can't remember. I tried several different brands red, and when I printed them like thinner pieces, it looked washed out. It didn't have the same vibrancy that the Bamboo did. More pricey, yeah. Dude, it's not $20.26 per spool if you buy the bulk. So they have it set up to where you can do, if you buy 4, it drops down quite a bit. And if you buy 6, it drops down to, like, instead of $20 for the refill, it's $13.99. It's still a little bit more because it's not what comes without the spool. I think it's $16.99 for the ones with the spool, but I don't mind swapping the spools. I'm always emptying them out. So $13.99, it's not that bad. Oh, Paramount, gotcha. 2026. Yeah, so for a specialty one, you know, I'll do that occasionally. I pop for, you know, like silk PLA and things like that. All right, I need... Of course, I didn't lay any of the colors I needed out because I'm a mess. Give me 1 second. Oh, I made this too. I'm gonna start doing some more things like this. This will be good for when I'm doing photos, just to have it in front of stuff, you know? Yeah, Elegoo. So I have a Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. And it worked great until it didn't. And it was my fault. I had something near it, and one of the cables got caught on it while it was printing, and it pulled the head out of alignment to where it kind of screwed it up. And so I need to go and fix some stuff, and I just have not done it. And I probably should do that because they were nice. They sent me that printer, and those guys were really, really cool. And I only made like 1 or 2 short videos with it. I feel kind of bad about that, but I just can't stand troubleshooting 3D printers, to be quite honest. Which is why I really like the Bamboos. Although I have had to do some minor troubleshooting, it's not like the It's just not the same. They're much more user-friendly generally, and they seem to not break as much. Certainly not as much as the Enders I used to have. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, let me check the camera. Let me see if the hot wire cam is pointed at that dial. Yeah. Pulled that out of the closet. Yeah, I thought that would be pretty cool. I pulled that out of the closet and I was setting it up, trying to get things a little bit cleaner. Got the little look there with all the books. I usually use this diorama for Christmas stuff, like I'll do like a tree and stuff over here. So, pretty cool. I'll probably get to where I'm trying to 3D design some of this stuff again. I might do like a bench. Do a table like this with the iron straps on it, and I kind of want to try. I'm going to knock everything over here. I kind of want to try making like some of these fancier style books. These are by hand out of foam, but I don't know. It's going to be difficult with the multicolor on all sides like that, but I don't know. It might be worth it to make like a series of fancy wizard looking books. Yep, there it went. This diorama I made quite a while ago, and I've learned since then that when you're going to make something like this, make backs on the bookshelves. Because man oh man, I've knocked this thing over a million times. $50, Briscoe, huh? Sweet. That probably would cover the shipping, although I'm not sure it would these days to Canada, honestly. Probably wouldn't. Thank you. I like that diorama a lot, actually. But I don't think I'd want to make it again. Painting those books was an experience. Triple D, honestly, I need to get better at putting more stuff up. I've been saying this for about 3 years now. I have some stuff on Etsy. There's a few consoles and a couple of walls. I'll be adding some more to that. Probably going to be doing 3D prints, more 3D print stuff there. And I'm going to be throwing some of my old stuff up on eBay, but I haven't. Actually, I did sell a couple of things on there a few weeks ago. But, yeah, there's a link to my Etsy. We're going to be doing more of that stuff. more 3D printing stuff. Handmade, I don't know. I'm gonna see. I might do some bases and some things like that on eBay. Took some meds and it made me sleepy. I'll say goodnight. Yeah, man. Go get some rest, dude. Hopefully you'll feel better soon, man. But Triple D, if there's ever something that is specific, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Fall crud is definitely going around, yeah. Kenzo, what's going on, Kenzo? So I know I was showing it before, but opinion. Do you think this looks science fiction, fantasy, or modern? You know, kind of like just, I don't know. I mean, this definitely gives more of like a fantasy, almost like Voltron kind of vibe to me. But largely the form for this one was based off of sci-fi chair, but then also medieval throne. Put up a poll. Yeah, we could do a poll. It's been a while. Pit up a poll? Yeah, we'll pit it up. No problem, buddy. Man, it's been so long I don't know where it is. Here we go. Yeah, I know Briscoe, but let's That's a take I didn't think of, Kenzo. Looks like the Ride the Lightning chair. Put the straps on it. Wow. That's wild. Man, Troy is saying the same thing. Okay. That's a take I didn't think of. So I made the arms wide because I was gonna try and design a little keypad console to go on one of them. But when I was looking at it, I was thinking about I might need to bring those in a little bit because they do look a bit wide. Yeah, proportionally, it's wider than the throne style. That's funny. Here, I'll just leave that somewhere vaguely visible. Give me sci-fi chair, which was thinking, okay, consoles on the armrest. But now that you mention it, I'm waffling, right? Looks like a Prison electric chair. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I mean, if I made it more plain, it definitely would too, right? Take the the red lines out of there. I kind of want to make an electric chair now, but that's kind of dark for me. I think if it's rounded off somewhere, it will look less like a prison chair. Yeah, the thing is, you know what I need to do? I need to do this. Well, I don't know if that would help or not. Maybe put a bump out on top of the headrest. Also some buttons. You know, if it had buttons or something on it, it would probably immediately skip over to recognizing in your brain as a captain's kind of chair as opposed to the electric chair. But Kenzo, yeah, I get what you're saying. The shape language of it, all these... Yeah. Huh. I'm looking at it now, and I like chamfered the edges on this cushion, and this one I did not. It has like that minimal state-funded looking padding on the back there. Just need some straps and zap. Jack into the Matrix. That's funny. Freaking cool either way. Thank you, man. Johnny Mnemonic. Wow. Need to like superimpose this on the cover of Ride the Lightning and see what it looks like. I think the two sides jutting up. Okay. I mean, this has that too, but they're curved. It gives a totally different impression. It's funny just how a little bit of different shape completely changes it. My prison worker brain went to one place. Yeah. Well, I imagine if I ever worked in a prison, that's probably be immediately what I thought too. Dude, if I ever worked in a prison, I would have been designing all kinds of stuff that looks like the inside of a prison. Because there's so many... It's a very unique place architecturally. I mean, never mind the social aspect of it, but just the building, you know, and the stuff that's in there. There's a lot of things in there you won't see anywhere else. Sure there's quite a lot of pretty interesting design, shape, utilitarian looking objects in there. Wide armrests, yeah, I think that was a big part of it too. They combined, dude, Briscoe, Final Fantasy was a huge part of my, I don't know what you want to call it, development as far as like tastes and stuff like that. I didn't even know what steampunk was, but I knew I liked it because of Final Fantasy II, you know, with Sid and the airships and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, fantasy, sci-fi, modern, steampunk, cyberpunk. Yep. Yeah, console. I could do this console as an afterthought and super glue it on there is kind of what I was thinking about doing. It's like I would like a peg for it to join, and maybe I'll do that. But there's also like, I don't know. Super glue works pretty well. You know, you don't need to peg everything. There's a joke there. Let's see. Yeah, I get that, but like I was trying to... I was trying to go at first for the shape of this, right? But then the things that differ is instead of having an open bottom, I put in this part on the bottom here solid. And like on the sides, if I made the sides bump out all the way like this, I would have to make the chair much wider because the shoulders of the figure was hitting that, and I was trying to not do that. So in between just compromises and playing around with it, this is just where I ended up emulating this and incorporating this. So they kind of like fusion together. But we'll have something finished eventually. You know, it's not like any of these chairs look bad. And even these little rinky-dink ones, they would have a place somewhere. You know, there could be a bunch of, like Numa City. There could be a bunch of homeless people sitting outside around a can, you know, with a fire, cooking a cyborg chicken or something. In these, could totally see it. Like the screens at different angles. Oh yeah, yeah. And then this one I did at a not 90-degree angle, which I think this is the first one I did at not a 90-degree angle. Every other screen I did at a 90-degree angle. Benches, yeah, oh yeah, RC garage. I could see that, man. I could see that. Or be better with a cup holder for an RC garage, but still. All right, let's get some light gray. Red shirt, it's cool. Could be contemporary, could be sci-fi. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Oh, here he is. So he fits, but you can see it's like, it's pretty tight. So it's kind of like, you know, like the little old plastic cheapo lawn chairs before they started making all of them like wide back kickback. It kind of has that vibe to me, the little plastic chairs. And then in the throne, and I kept altering it till I got it to where their feet actually touch the ground. I can't say it'll work with all the other 1/18th, but it definitely works with Delta 17. And then we have this one, which is probably the most comfortable for him to sit in, as far as, you know, having room for his arms and stuff. And chilling. See, he doesn't look like he's about to get electrocuted. He looks like he's hanging out. Little does he know. Let me take a look. Where'd the poll end up? We ended up 67% sci-fi. Okay. Okay. Probably sell cockpit chairs to world makers and customizers. So with someone in it, it looks way less like a prison chair. Yeah. You know, I'm thinking, is the seat cushion pattern really doing it? Like having this footrest thing here where they... Is that might be a big part of it too. I don't know. A recharge chair. Yeah, this is a cyborg. That's true. That's actually a cool idea, Fat Red. Have like a little panel, you know, kind of like the Borg have those things over their recharge station, but not Borg style, you know, just like a power bar thing and maybe a couple of dials or something like that. Maybe a little conduit coming out. Send a message to me. Okay, Triple D. I'll look at it either after the stream or tomorrow. Pegolin is back. Oh yeah, yeah. They have all kinds of. They have a whole backpack and stuff with a gun, 2 swords. Their hands switch out for sword blades. There's quite a few cool weapons accessories with these guys. Just paint over that little footrest part. I'll just remove it in the design, Briscoe. But yeah. Triple D, I am looking at my messages, and I don't see anything from you on my Instagram messages, if that's where you sent it. I just figured I'd let you know. I'm not going to read that comment, Briscoe. Yeah, you know, you could, but I don't want to get into doing too many things like that, Fat Red, because not every figure is going to have a peg on their back. And yeah. And I thought about doing foot pegs and stuff like that. You know, that's cool. But PLA does not do well with, you know, pressure like that over and over and over again. And that will be the fail point. That will probably be the first thing that breaks. And also, it gets compressed with heat, so even if it's a tight fit when you start, by the time you take the figure on and off about 10 to 12 times, it's going to start being increasingly useless. You could, Fat Red, but I'm not going to do any of that. It's too... I don't... Simplification, you know? Simplify. There's some things that, yeah, like making... I saw, you know, Travis with Hexastack when he was trying to get that together. He had such a nightmare with the foot pegs because every figure, like, they're not uniform. And then he started trying to make all these interchangeable pieces that would go in and out. And he ended up with, like, 6 different pieces and all this crazy stuff. And it's just going to be insane to do that amount of, you know, pieces and customization for a chair. It just seems, I don't know. You don't need it. What do you need it for? He's there. He's sitting in it. Yeah, sure, he can fall out, but he's all right. He'll be all right. That's what they make blue tack for. With 1/18th, you got this bifurcation between O-ring 375, modern 4-inch, and I would think for accessories you'd want to find the sweet spot. Yeah, for sure. Small magnets is great. They can be great. Yeah, honestly, I like items that look good with both. You know, like this guy right here. Fairly reasonable. And not completely unreasonable, right? So it takes on a different scale, but you could still see it being a, you know, maybe having a top thing with a couple of shelves on it, and it could reasonably be seen in both worlds. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably change the overall design. This is just basically a test for this hinge, just this 2 simple pins. This design requires super glue. haven't been able to think of how to make that kind of door really well without super glue yet. Maybe we'll get there. We all need to band together and tell it. One size, man. One size would be amazing. But for everything. Chooch! I make seat belts with magnetic clasp buckles for my application, but they are RC cars, so it makes sense. Yeah, no, magnetics, I mean, look, magnets are awesome. And, you know, Chooch, you're doing all that custom stuff with a lot of detail. This chair, you know, if I put it up something like this for sale, I'm going to have to sell it somewhere between 12 to 15, maybe 20 on the high end. Like if I got fancier and threw dials and widgets and console controls on there, it could get up maybe a little bit more. But if you're selling like just basic chairs for like 12 or 15 bucks, you're not going to be able to do all that stuff with all the magnets in there and have it be feasible. But yeah, magnetic clasps, that does sound really cool. Also, I don't know what figures people are going to use it for. You sell stuff to people and they do crazy stuff with it. I mean, things you just never even intended for them to use it for, they use it for that. And that's really cool. But I like to keep things as open-ended as possible too. Ride the lightning, right? Yeah, I keep hearing Metallica in my head looking at it. No doubt. That's too funny. Wine bottles. Fat Red, how messed up are you right now, man? Yeah, wine bottles. I'm fine. Okay. Vases, light fixtures. Okay. Dude, ships and bottles are still pretty awesome, Chooch. I agree. It's something fascinating about them. I've never had a terrarium, and I've always wanted to do one. Yeah, it's just really interesting how they can get all that stuff to balance and just take on a life of its own. And some of those things are like, you see these guys with terrariums that are just, you know, decades old. Try it again. Here, let me see. There you go. Got you, man. Okay. Yeah, I got a triple D. We'll take a look at it here soon. Polymer clay, micro figures, zombies mainly for bottle terrariums. That's interesting. Do I have any of my zombies here? Oh man, I can't believe I don't have those little guys. I used to make nothing fancy, but I made some out of Sculpey one time for a. I had the idea to do a game that was like a wave game where you would roll dice to see how many zombies would come at you, and you were basically in a convenience store and they would just march towards you and you had to, like, you know, shoot them. Kind of Warhammer-y movement rules. I love that paint cup. You all should get that paint cup. Oh, this thing is awesome, dude. Yeah, it's been, I haven't spilled it ever, so I haven't knocked anything over, and it's got the brush cleaner. Where is it? It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, it's got the brush cleaning on that side, and yeah, it's been great. I don't ever use the palette in the lid, but just being able to seal it is cool. But it's got the palette in here. I never use this function because I'm always with my trusty coffee can lids. I want green. Legit, there we go. I'm on board. Yeah. I have the link to that thing somewhere, but it's only like 14 bucks on Amazon. I'm sure there's a I can't remember where I have the link for it, honestly. I have a video for it, but it's difficult to locate in the 500 videos. It's probably in a crafting section on my Amazon video page. What, the bright green? This one? 3D printed one. You 3D printed a paint cup? That's cool. Does it leak or it's resin? You seem like you said you use resin, so it wouldn't leak if it was resin, obviously. The bright green, it's my jam right there. Yeah, I like this green too, for sure. I used to get worried about using too much green with red because it looks like Christmas, and then I was like, you know what? I like Christmas. That's fine. No worries. PLA, really? Huh. Interesting. Swimmingly, yeah. Yellow and red, man. Yellow and red go together great. It just pops, yellow and red. That blue is going to be nuts. Where's the lighter blue? I know what I'll do. Here, I'll paint the little platform it's on. Yep. Yeah, Fat Red, I'm pretty sure that's why McDonald's used those colors. But like all those old marketing guys knew yellow and red were the ones to use for making things pop. Your palette is a stoplight, right? good night. Good night, RC. Unknown RC. Thanks for becoming a channel member. Thanks for the super chat, man. And thanks for just saying hello. Hope to see you again, man. Have a good night. That is Christmas right there. It's all right. Hail Santa, right? That's okay. Santa needs a control chair too. That's fine. So how you been doing, Chooch? You have any, build any new cities in your backyard or anything? Any big crazy projects lately? Man, this is a bad angle. Haven't been making movies or RC lately. Too busy being a business owner. Yeah, that will definitely do it. That'll definitely do it. What kind of business do you have? If you don't want to say, don't worry about it. I feel like you've told me, but I'm getting old. And trying my hand at sculpting an 18-inch monstrous humanoid type thing lately. Yeah, that sounds like one of my descriptions. The sci-fi widget thingy mabobber, or whatchamacallit. No, that's cool. Sculpting is one of those things I've done a little but not enough. Just little parts and pieces. I'm doing more 3D modeling lately, but I still have not tackled any organic sculpting in that department yet. That's cool, man. Bought a local movie theater. Wow, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, you guys are out, so yeah, it's nice when you can actually still do stuff like that. Like in the city, it would be probably almost impossible. But that's cool, man. Are you keeping it like a standard movie theater, or is it a crazy chooched out movie theater with like one of the theater rooms is nothing but an RC racetrack in there? That would be pretty wild. Single screen, 240 seats, 103 years old. That's got to be kind of cool. Does it have like cool old school, like like the theater architecture with all the little things here and there? There's like interesting features. Why did my screen go blank? What the heck, dude? YouTube just had a heart attack. The stream still looks good through OBS. Okay, here we go. YouTube came up again. The whole YouTube screen just restarted for I have no idea why. Hopefully that didn't disrupt the stream. Probably not. There's tons of exploration to be done at the theater. Lots of history. That's very cool. Previous owners wanted to sell it to my wife about 6 years ago, but we had just bought her house. Sure. Any ghosts? Good night, Fat Red. Hope you have go get some sleep, man. It's getting late. We're going to be wrapping up here in a little bit anyway. Yeah, that sounds cool, Chooch. Another fun-filled 10-hour day tomorrow. All right, Kenzo. Have a good night, man. I tell you, it's like lemmings, man. One goes off the cliff and they all start jumping. I have the same feeling. People start leaving, I want to go to sleep soon. Say last November we had a ghost hunter. Wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. this stuff out of the way. I'm out. Sleep is taking me. All right, Troy. Take care, man. Thanks for hanging out. And I don't know, for some of you guys that know the lore, I don't know if everyone saw this, but you guys may or may not know about the Blue Mule, which is one of my chat icons. But it's also, Briscoe probably knows about this. The Blue Mule from Hella Dope Toys, Ted's Crappy Dolly. I 3D modeled it, so we're going to be, I don't know, probably doing something with that eventually. I'm still working out the kinks, but I thought that would be funny. Let's move some of this stuff. Hashtag Blue Mule, exactly. Briscoe would buy one of those for $50, probably. Briscoe, I don't know. Those guys are on like a little break. We haven't really talked about it. But I will probably do something with them. If not with them, then independently, but probably with Hella Dope. We'll see how I decide to do it. I was almost thinking about and this was crazy because it's just a dolly, but I thought it'd be funny to put him on a card and maybe design, like, do the art for the card and have it sealed up, you know, in like a little blister. You'd buy one for $50, see? But we'll see. Where the heck did the pencil go? There we go. Yeah, I noticed they haven't been live in a while. Yeah, they just did a toy show in Columbus. I think they were just taking a break from the live stream and doing the show, trying to sort through some stuff. You know, it's hard sometimes. Even that's kind of why I've kept this show so, or this, whatever you want to call it, stream, so loosey-goosey, is because, you know, you don't have to plan. I don't have to, I mean, I got to do a little bit of planning. I have to have things on hand to do, but it's difficult to do it week after week for an extended period of time. You just get to a point where you just, you know, burn out like anything else. When things are going well and people are supporting, and for those guys, you know, it's like they're making sales and all that, it's easy to have motivation, but as soon as you have like a rough patch in life or there's downturns, it becomes increasingly harder. Yeah, I noticed it. Is it behind your ear? Most intriguing thing I could state as a theater owner is Mario Kart absolutely rips on the big screen. Very cool. Is what behind my ear? Pencil. Oh, no. I had it on my bed because I pre-cut this before, so I was marking everything out when I was before the show. But I've definitely done that, Chooch. For sure, for sure. Same. Yeah, totally, man. Every stupid, goofy thing you could imagine with misplacing glasses on top of my head. I'm looking for my glasses. I've looked for my phone with my phone in my hand. Man, where is my phone? Where is my phone? Yeah. Especially now, like in my 40s, it's gotten noticeably worse. But I can laugh about it at least. I get so, yeah, and man, God forbid if I put something in a spot that I'm not used to it, especially with tools or anything, it's got to go back where it's supposed to be, because I have too many things, too many, little cluttery things. If it's bad. Like my wallet has to be in the same spot, my keys have to be in the same spot. If they're not, it's like instant panic, and I just kind of like choke it down, try to calm down, not worry about it. But there's that little part of me that's like, oh no, where is it? I just can't deal with anything out of routine too easily. Freaks out. Meticulous. This is why we do such great work, Random. Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I mean, as you know, like when you're working on something, you want to get into a flow state on it. You don't want to have, if you got to keep stopping to look for things, then you can't get anything done. You got to have everything there ready to go as much as you possibly can. Yeah, exactly, Jabalong. Totally. Oops. Oh boy, this brush is rough. I'm sure that sounds wonderful on the speaker or over the microphone. It wasn't until he broke out the... Well, the assignment is, it's going to be wood, but this is going to be stone. So, it's just a base, chooch. A little bit of variety. Alberto? What's going on, Alberto? Coming in for the late night portion. How you doing tonight? The spice of life, they say. It's true. I really think the mix of the wood and the stone really looks good together, too. Actually, it's exactly like this right here, what I was showing earlier, this old diorama. Just like this, with the wood on the edge of the stone like that. I think it just gives it a cool look. I remember this one, yeah. Yeah, that's an old one now, probably about 4 years maybe, 3.5. Big fan, thank you. Yeah, I love that diorama. Gonna start making like the table and the chairs. I'm gonna start trying to do some 3D modeling. I got the matte brown and the matte black PLA coming. I'm gonna see what that looks like. I was holding mine and so you were a senile old man when you were a little kid, Briscoe? That kind of fits. I could see that. So both, Chooch. I mean, most of the shots were with Link, but I did have Mario. Mostly Link. I'm trying to think. Mario was in. I used part of the props for it, but it was probably mostly Link. I did have, I did Christmas shots with Mario and Link together. Maybe I'll do some of that this year too. I started using the Father Christmas from Mythic Legions or from Four Horsemen for my Christmas stuff, but I do like the old school Nintendo stuff, so maybe we'll do some of that this year. I used to use that Figma link for everything, though. Play with a lot of chemicals. Did you have lead paint in your old house, Briscoe? That probably might be part of it right there, man. It would not surprise me in those old apartments that I lived in a lot when I was a kid in New York. If I ate some lead paint chips, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Shockingly intact for, hey, you know, Chooch, we're all different, man. I remember all the crap I don't want to remember, and I don't remember any of the stuff I want to remember. Different chemicals. One summer we decided making toxic waste. don't know about all that. I do remember doing some insanely stupid stuff, though, as a kid with inhaling things that shouldn't be inhaled. Getting all lightheaded and getting headaches and totally frying my brain, I'm sure. Alright, put some texture on that and some paint, maybe chip it up a little bit here and there. That'd be a cool little base. Primus. It was the 80s, all those chemicals smelled pretty good, yeah, and we didn't have the internet to tell us that we were doing anything terribly wrong. I mean, I remember the silliest stuff, dude. Tea bags, all kinds of crazy stuff. Smoking tea bags, huffing ridiculous things. Oh man, that made me think I used to smoke cloves. I don't know who it was. Some older kid in high school had a clove one time, and I smoked one, and I was like, what is this? And I occasionally would have a pack of those hiding around. Freaking clove cigarettes. Okay, so where are we at? It's 101. Our parents didn't tell us neither. I know. Yeah, right. They were just like, get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Don't do drugs. Get out of here. Twitch streamers mod timed me out a few days ago. They were listening to Primus, and I said Primus sucks. Yeah. Man, you know, like, I get sometimes when some people are being, like, just super aggressive or provocative in the chat. I understand that, but I am so against the whole just banning. Like, you make a joke and you just get banned. Yeah. I don't know what happened to the internet. It used to be you could just say whatever. You know, no one took anything seriously. Now it's everyone's butthurt about everything. All right, guys. Well, it's been going for an hour and 51 minutes. A little short tonight, but it started a little bit late. We got the details on this chair painted up. We might leave it like this, but I'll probably do like it's hard to tell on camera, but it might need a little bit more gray and some spots to make it look a little more solid. I might Mod Podge this, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Could use some highlights, but I kind of like it flat like this. And then we did this cool little base piece here that will look a lot better when it's painted and textured. Thanks everyone for hanging out. What was... Man, I'm gonna like be terrible. I know RC was in his name. Unknown RC, there we go. Unknown RC, special thanks to him for joining up as a channel member and the super chat he gave. Thank you to all my channel members and everyone that just comes and hangs out. You know, and people like Chooch that show up after running a movie theater for a year. All right, everyone, you have a fantastic weekend. I should be here next week, and yeah, hope to see you then. Take care.